On the next Impact on January 24th, the Observer says BG James did apologize for what Kip was saying in the Christy Hemme
See?
angle.
Yep.
See, you're such a gentleman.
I know.
You know what BG stands for? Big gentleman.
Yep. Big gentleman. And it also means big gentleman, like big, like,
Like big
lose
gentleman.
lose a few LBSs, bro.
BG said he agreed with Hemme and Kip was in the background with duct tape over his mouth. Kip then took the tape off and put it in BG's mouth and said
Yeah.
wrestling was a man's world. And it
This
always
is a man's
was.
world.
It always would be until there was no more wrestling. A few more angles like this one, and that day wouldn't be far off. BG walked out on Kip.
See?
Was there
I wouldn't
talk
put-
of you guys breaking up?
I wasn't going to put up with that kind of
Yeah, you were
chauvinism.
done.
Look, if I'm
You were woke
like
before it
I'm
was
an
cool.
advocate. I'm a women's advocate in this angle and in real life. I have daughters. And when Billy Gunn, Kip James, whatever his name was, starts running his pie hole, degrading women, I got to take a stand. I don't think we split up or anything. I just walked out of the room. And really they weren't supposed to shoot that prior to us doing the taping of each other's mouths because things were going on that weren't supposed to be on camera there. But
Okay.
but no, I'm just kidding.
That was my next follow-up.
Yeah,
What was happening?
I just wanted you to think of Big Zed.
Yeah, I started taking notes. That tape off air.
Yep, ball gag.
What
Got it?
Do you remember Billy talking about this? Was he opposed to it? Was this just we all rolling with the punches
No.
at this point?
Hey, we were both on a lot of drugs. And again, this was for both of us, this was just, sometimes it takes people a week to hit a bottom, and sometimes it takes people a decade to hit a bottom. And it took us a while, but we were both heading downward spiral as far as our addictions go during this time. So look, I can't imagine him being the the voice of reason and going, I don't feel like I should denigrate women just because we were both out of our ever-loving minds,
You've said before at that time you were just getting a check so you could pay for drugs, pay your mortgage,
and that's it.
move on.
That's it. I had to support my drug habit, so I wrestled on television. You know what I mean? And that's just the truth. It's sad. It's a pathetic existence, but that was my existence for a period of time, and I can't go back and change it, or I would, and I can't beat myself up over it because it will do me no good. And that rhymed, and I do it all the time, and Sprite, Slim, and Lime. I mean, I don't know.
I'll pay you a dime for that. Were you guys supposed
Only
to be
a dime?
heels? Yeah, just a dime. Well, it's the only thing that rhymed.
That'd be a crime.
We were out of time.
Wow. Congrats. You know what?
We freestyled that,
Yes.
didn't we?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
We
are wide as. Never mind.
We are wide as crap. All right, let's move along at all odds in 07. Boy, this is interesting. Christy, this is from the Observer. Christy Hemme beat the fat, oily guy in 229 in a tuxedo street fight.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was wrestling for TNA. in
Yeah,
07.
you were employed.
The crowd was chanting "F you, Russo," and I edited the F during his match, which was real killer. Hemme had her pants taken off, but she stripped the oily guy down to his thong. Fans were booing this.
He was hot. He was hot.
He was.
He needed chili sleep.
I knew you were going to say it. The fans were booing this and booed her. Although in the long run, she's supposed to be the heel in all this because the idea is the male audience can't get a girl, certainly not one that looks like her. So therefore, they want to see hot women being degraded. And Kip James represents them. Kip came out and teased he was going to take off his pants, but instead ripped off her shirt and laughed. The idea was to get Kip over as a face and Hemme over as a heel. Russo's original scripting was to have BG run in and put a towel over Hemme, but BG refused, saying if the idea is for VKM to be faces, his putting the towel on her would turn him heel. When he made that point, they switched the script. Is that true? Do you remember
They
that?
flipped the script. Well, no, I don't remember it, to tell you the truth. But when I read it, I thought like, well, of course, if he rips her shirt off, which look, that it's 2007, not 1957. So the fact that he's going to rip her shirt off, that's a heel thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't even in 2007 you didn't do that. So I think the line of thinking between the heels and the baby faces in this particular story were really altered from the get-go. You know what I mean? Like, holy mackerel, he's the baby face and he's gonna rip her shirt off. Like that's unheard of. But it does sound like Russo. And I just think I think he was throwing stuff at the wall. He threw a lot of stuff at the wall. A lot of things stuck. But sometimes it didn't work. And I think this was one of those times.